What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Sunday morning edition of Drivin with Duck, now on YouTube and on Facebook. So, that's getting close to Father's Day, just past the 7-year anniversary of my grandfather, father that raised me, dying. I've had residual effects from that, and today I want to talk about being mad about things in your life. Now, the funny thing about me is I love I love things to have acronyms so that you can remember them. I did one a long time ago about being a gym rat. Get your mind right and tight. That was one from a long time ago. You can look that one up on my Facebook, though. But being mad, you think about being mad, and even if you're mad at yourself, it still puts you in a mind space for damage. It can fuck you up emotionally, mentally, and even sometimes physically. No matter how you handle it, no matter how you deal with it. Now, when you get mad, you need to prepare yourself for mutually assured destruction. MAD. Okay, if you get mad at another person, you guarantee no matter how you handle it, something is gonna be taken from you one way or another, right? Doesn't matter how y'all go about it, how y'all handle it. If y'all sit down and talk about it, something's going to change. Something is going to get taken away. Maybe that bad behavior is going to go away. If something created that dissension between the two of you, it's going to go away, right? Something's got to get destroyed in that behavior, right? Someone's going to say, I'm sorry. A behavior that created that moment is going to have to go away. If you are mad and you keep that feeling to yourself, much like I do that a lot, right? That mutually assured destruction, that is a problem between you and your soul. Your soul is going to be put in like a compactor, and your soul is going to get crushed every single day, little by little. Your soul is going to be irreparably damaged little by little. Now, being angry or mad is something that comes very easy to me. But me being who I am, being 42 years old, and I think a lot of people have this problem, the older you get, the more tired you get of hearing yourself talk, right? When you get to be a certain age, you don't like the repetitive nature of being. Being a parent is one thing, right? You tell your kids, all right, don't do this, stop doing that. Like in my job, for example, every day it's don't do this, don't do that, stop doing this. You keep doing that, there's going to be consequences, whatever. It's much like being a parent. And you're trying to educate and uplift, right? Or in the military, as they say, win the hearts, win the minds, right? One heart, one mind. So when you are trying to change people's behaviors, right, and motivate them to want to do better, be better for themselves, if they don't see the pattern of their behavior and they continue said behavior, it tends to make you first upset because you're not getting through, you're not changing that behavior, but then you get angry because now it's like, okay, now I'm wasting my time and I'm repeating myself. And then when you find yourself in situations over time doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, layman's definition, the word that defines is insanity. You are literally doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Then you find yourself walking around the house, mumbling to yourself, complaining. And now you look like a fucking crazy person to yourself. And you're going off on yourself because you're like, I don't know why I do this. Why do I keep doing this to myself? And now you're developing nervous tics because you're going crazy. And when you're angry and you're trying to figure your own life out, it's tough because you find a lot of people will wait till the very last minute to make a change and then act like they did something when they do make a change out of emergency, not out of necessity or will, and then act like there's a big sense of accomplishment when they do it. And it's interesting in our state of affairs and the type of world that we live in. Like if you think about the state that our world's in, right? You look at the world's response to people of color, the world's response to Asian Americans, the world's response to body sickness, the world's response in the late 80s to the heroin pandemic, right? They had to respond to all of these things, so they did, and then acted like they were doing it as a humanitarian effort and a way to change the way people were thinking. One heart, one mind, right? So then it's like we're doing it because we want to be helpful, but that's really not why we're doing it. We're doing it because it's an emergency, not out of necessity. We're doing it because we have to. We have no choice, right? And it absolutely sucks because when people do these things, it's almost like, I hope I'm not offending anybody. If you watch My 600-Pound Life, they interview these people and they're like, I'm just tired of living my life this way. I can't get out of bed. I can't do this. I can't do that. Where were you at 400 pounds? Where were you at 500 pounds? I'm pretty sure your doctors told you you're headed for that direction. You saw it coming. You just didn't believe it. People told you. You just acted like it wasn't going to happen to you. You know what I mean? That's the problem. People are too busy pouring the concrete for the foundation and not letting it settle and then building their home on it. They're building on it while it's not set, and then when it crumbles, they're like, oh shit, now they're upset. You know what I mean? And that's what people are doing. People are surrounding them, telling them, look, this is not good. You need to correct this. And they're all upset. And then when they finally do something about it, when the situation's all foobarred up, then they act like they did something when there's no going back, and they have to recognize it and have to respect it. Then they act like, oh, I did something. No, you didn't do anything. It was all fucked up to the point where you have to do something. So I have to bless you up because you did something now when you were actually supposed to. And that's where we are. So being mad about things in life, it's tough to overcome that because you get to a point when you're mad, it takes over your spirit sometimes. Now, with me, like I said, me missing my dad, so he's been gone 7 years, and it's absolutely crushing my soul. This time, I don't know why. I don't have a good understanding or a good grasp on it. Maybe because in some ways, I feel like I'm failing as a father on my own, even though I've tried a lot. In other ways, I feel more that I'm being taken advantage of by a lot of people that I've cared about. You find yourself when you're in a position that you, in the things that I do, I talk to a lot of people and I befriend a lot of people. And I'm sure there's other people out there like me that, you know, you want to be helpful, you want to do things for people, you want to sit down, talk to people, not necessarily counsel people, but bounce ideas off of people. And you say things, and it's not necessarily giving advice. It's people will ask you, well, what should I do? You know, I need to get from point A to point B. What way would you take to get there? And you tell them because you've been that way, like literal concrete proof. This is how you get from point A to point B. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. What do you mean you're not doing that? You asked me to tell you how to get there. I'm literally telling you how to get there. But that doesn't work for you? And it's literally concrete. This is not like an advice thing where I'm with this person, they beat me, I don't know what to do. This is not like that type of situation. It's not one of those type of situations like I'm always broke, I have no money. Why am I always broke? What should I do? This is not one of those situations. This is literally like concrete steps How do I get from point A to point B? How do I do this from that? Little piddly shit like that. And people are like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it. Like, it's literally a waste of my time. It's gotten me to the point in my life where I'm like, I really should just turn my fucking phone off and not deal with anybody. And it's so frustrating for me as a person because I'm almost tired of talking to people. It's like, literally, how do you not see this? How do you not see that you're asking me for help? I see your frustration and I get it, but a lot of this is on you because of how you're carrying yourself and the things you're doing. You're literally, your head is in the clouds and you're not understanding what you're doing to yourself. You need to bring your head down and look ahead and see what's in front of you and understand a lot of this is your doing where you're not paying attention. And it makes me 100% frustrated. I know there's a lot of people out there that are going through the very same issue. I know there's a lot of people out there that are having a tough time because of the things that are going on around their lives, but they're not paying attention to what's going on around them, and they're not taking everything and breaking it down to its simplest form and not pointing the finger, so to speak. I said it before in another video. When you point a finger at somebody, there's 3 pointing back at yourself. So they're not looking at who the real culprit is, who's really culpable. And that's the whole thing. You humbling yourself and realizing, okay, there's a lot going on in life, but I need to look at myself first, check myself first, make sure I'm okay first, and see the part that I play in this big ass musical that is my life, and see whether it's me. If it's me, I need to take my ass somewhere and sit down and figure this out, and then I'll come back to it once I get my footing right. Because a lot of people don't do that. They don't have stable ground, and they want to go and dance with everybody and go through life and fuck around and not have a good footing. And that's the problem. Because when the rubber meets the road and it comes time to do everything that needs to be done, they're not willing to fall on that sword for what they believe in, then they're wishy-washy. Everybody wants to be everybody's friend, but not have those stable ones. Like I've said before, my sister Jackie taught me a valuable lesson when I was 10 years old. It's always better to have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. She's told me that a million times, and I've stuck with that. That stayed with my heart for the past 32 years. That's why I don't have many friends. And I've said to a few people lately that I would love to hang out with more people, see more people, but my life is always so busy and caught up, and it reminds me there's a reason why I don't have too many friends. Because my phone starts ringing, yo, let me hold this, let me see this, let me have that, or whatever. And then when it comes time for me to call on people, and I'm like, yo, what's good? What do you need? Then nobody's there to be found. So the point of this whole video, when I talk about being mad, mutually assured destruction, if you don't speak your piece when you're angry, you're setting yourself up to crush your soul. But in the same respect, you're gonna have people sometimes that'll yes you to death or laugh it off or not pay attention. And even taking that a little bit deeper, there are some people that are gonna look at you like you're freaking crazy. And when you say, listen, this is not good for my soul, this is not good for my spirit, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna fix it for the moment, and it's gonna go right back to the same shit a few days later. And all it is smoke and mirrors for a little bit. You have to let that foundation settle so that it becomes a permanent thing. 30 days a habit makes. So you can't fool yourself or people around you when there's changes that need to be made and things that are being done for the greater good. You have to make sure it becomes good food for your soul, because when you get mad, you create that mutually assured destruction. It begets hostile behavior, and it's bad for your spirit, bad for your soul, and then in turn becomes bad for your body. And what becomes bad for your body creates a bad environment for everybody involved. And then it creates health problems, and then it leads to a bad work ethic, and then it just makes you angry all the time. And then you can see it on your face, and it goes into your joints, and it makes everything bad. So make it pleasant. And if it's a bad environment for yourself, at some point, you have to cut bait and say, you know what, this does not work for me. Because you need to have a peaceful environment, that zen, that your chi, your chakras need to be aligned and be in a good headspace. Because I'm telling you, being mad, even if it's just within yourself, you can create that destructive force in between your body and your soul. And then you feel it. That's why you're always sore. I wake up sore every morning, even though I'm trying to go to MMA and then I want to go to the gym and I'm like, ugh, I'm sore. I'm not going today. I actually got an abscess in my mouth out of nowhere. I have not had a cavity in over 20 years. Somehow I got an abscess. I'm telling you, it's proven. It's proof. I can't remember. Matter of fact, to tell you the truth, I'm not even gonna lie, I've never had an abscess in my mouth. And it's probably because of the amount of stress that I've had, because of how I've been feeling. It's factual. How you carry yourself and releasing that stress, it creates the more problems. I've had more migraines lately. I've had seizures lately, simply because of my stress level. Not grand mal seizures, not where I've passed out. I've just zoned out. I had one actually. Now, 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, because I've been so stressed. So I'm telling you, for your sake, don't let anything get you mad. And if you have to fall on that sword, but make sure your point is made and point is proven. And then if you have to walk, just walk. If you have to, because you've got to take care of you. You only get one shot at this life. You have one body and one spirit, and that's, you've got to maintain those chakras. You keep yourself focused and safe. It's been another edition of Driving with Duck. I wish you the best Sunday. Align yourself and keep yourself focused. Take the day to stimulate your soul and feed yourself. We all need that. Call your family. Take care, my friends. Peace.